Hello class, and welcome to another one of our Saturday Hangout sessions. My name is Paul West, of course, your instructor, and today we're going to go over how to determine the volume of a cylinder or a tank. Now it's important to know how to do this because when you're out on a job site, you need to know whether your containment area or system is large enough to be able to handle the liquid that's contained in your tanks in case of a spill. So we're going to use some formulas. So go get a pencil, some paper, and a calculator, and I'm going to show you how I do it. It's pretty easy to do it. So get ready, get ready. Thanks. All right. Now we're going to go over the different letters and what they mean. So circumference is the number of feet measured around the outside of the tank. So this is the circumference. The circumference is when you walk around the outside, the amount of feet that you measure around the outside, or inches, or whatever you're measuring around like that, that's the circumference. Next, the diameter is a straight line through the center measured from one end to the other. So if you make a straight line from here to here and go through the center point, that will give you the diameter. Now the radius is a point starting in the center going to any point along the edge. So you can also measure the radius going to that edge, to that edge, to this edge. So any point in the center measured to any point on the edge is the radius. Also pi, we're going to have to learn pi. Pi, and it's going to be a symbol somewhat like that, is equal to 3.142. Now somebody a lot smarter than me figured that out, so I don't know how to tell you, explain it besides that's what we use whenever you see the symbol pi is equal to 3.142. We'll just have to take that one as being true. And then next we'll have to measure the height. I'll show you an easy way to do that. This is the height from the top to the bottom, and so that's going to be another important measurement that we're going to have. Next we're going to look at the circumference. Now the tank that we're using, I did walk around that tank and I measured the circumference, and the circumference was equal to 63 feet. So when my feet are about 12 inches with my shoes on, right at 12 inches, so I can usually measure in a straight line pretty accurately, just heel to toe. But in this case I had to use a tape measure, so when I went around and measured the bottom of that tank, it was 63 feet. Okay. Alright, next we're going to determine what the diameter is. Now there is a formula that we're going to use. We said that the circumference was equal to 63 feet, right? Okay, so we had that. The formula is D, or diameter, is equal to C, or circumference, over pi. So D is equal to, C was 63, so we'll do 63 over pi is 3.142. Okay, now it's time for a calculator. So 63 divided by 3.142 is equal to 20.05. So D, or the diameter, is equal to 20 feet. We'll drop that 0.05. So the diameter is equal to 20 feet. Okay. All right. We got the diameter. Now next, the next step we're going to go to, we're going to figure out the radius. So we had the circumference. We had the circumference equal to 63, and that helped us determine the diameter. So we have for the diameter being 20 the radius is half of the diameter. So the radius is equal to d divided by 2. Our radius is going to be equal to 20 divided by 2. And if you reach for that calculator, I tell you, you better not. 20 divided by 2, r is equal to 10 feet. So our radius is equal to 10 feet. All right, everybody got that? Now next, since we have our radius is 10 feet, our diameter is 20 feet, our circumference is 63 feet. Let me show you how to figure out how tall the tank is without having to climb up on it. If you look closely at the different tanks, there are wells. There's a line where they welded the tank going around the outside of the tank, and you'll see it even if it's painted over. You'll see a line where it's been welded. And so what I did, I took that first line and I measured from here to here. I measured from the bottom to this point to the first well, and it gave me 6 feet. So 6 feet, 12 feet, 18 feet, and 24 feet. So they're usually all the same size, where they took some flat steel and they rolled it and they just made rings out of it. So the height is going to be 24 feet, and that's how I figured that out. So let's take our next step. Okay, now that we have 63, 20, 10, and 24, we need to figure out our area. So the area is going to be, the formula for it, A is equal to pi r squared. Now we're only going to be, the area is only going to be that bottom foot because it's going to be measured in cubic feet. So the area is just going to give us the base of the end of the tank. So A is going to be equal to 3.142 times, we said that R was 10, so 10 squared. So A is going to be equal to 3.142 times, what's 10 times 10? Is 100. Okay, so A is going to be equal to, let me get my calculator. Some of you can do this in your head. 3.142 times 100 equals 314.2. So we have 314.2 cubic feet. Now, to be able to find the total volume, the formula for volume is V is equal to what? Pi r squared times h, or times the height. So the volume is going to be equal to 3.142 times, what did we say r squared was? It's going to be 100 times h, or the height, is 24 feet. So V is going to be equal to, get your calculators out, let me see, 3.142 times 100 times 24 is equal to, it's going to be 7,540 cubic feet. That's the amount of liquid this whole tank can hold. So once we figure that out, let me give you another important fact. 1 cubic foot is equal to 7.48 gallons. So 1 cubic foot is equal to 7.48 gallons, and one barrel is equal to, I don't know why you do it like that. I think it's kind of weird, but anyway, 1 barrel is equal to 42 gallons. Now, the reason 1 barrel is equal to 42 gallons, when they struck oil and they had so much oil they didn't know what to do with it, they had to store it some kind of way. So they used whiskey barrels to put the oil in, and whiskey barrels would hold 42 gallons. So that's how they would determine that 42 gallons is 1 barrel. So just a little bit of history. All right, here we go. So if the total volume of this tank could be 7,540 cubic feet, we'll do that times 7,540 times 8.42. 7.48, come on now. 7.48 gallons. And that's going to be equal to how many gallons? It's going to be, let me do times, we'll get rid of that 0.8. 7,540 times 7.48 is equal to 56399. So that's going to be 56,399 gallons. All right, so if 42 gallons equals 1 barrel, we're going to divide this by 42, and then we'll get how many barrels. So we divide this by 42, and then that's going to give us, let's see, divide that by 42. 56399 divided by 42 is going to be equal to 1,342. 1,342 barrels. Everybody got that? Hopefully it was pretty simple for you. Hopefully we'll be able to go over some more of this pretty soon, and we'll be able to have a test probably by this weekend. We'll have a test, and I'm going to put some problems out there, some practice problems out there, and you'll have till maybe the weekend to turn them in, so Sunday midnight. Anyway, if you have any questions, send me an email, shoot me a text message, however you want to catch me, and we'll go from there. I appreciate it. Y'all have a good day, and thanks for watching.